Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World. So this video is one of my classic cozy crime book reviews. I have done, I think this one is number 4. So if you haven't seen any of the previous 3, I will link them for you up here somewhere throughout the video so you can go and check them out. But essentially this video is about some classic crime books because I'm going to be honest, I only read classic crime. I don't really read modern crime. It's about classic crime, particularly from the 20th century. And I love cozy crime mysteries, and I'm going to review 3 books for you. If by the end of this video you're like, yeah, I want to pick one of them up, then click on the description box because they'll all be linked there and they'll take you to the book depository where you can check them out or purchase them if you want to. So let's get straight into it. So the first book that I have read and want to share with you is Footsteps in the Dark by, now I don't know how to pronounce her name, is it Georgette, is it Heyer or Heyer? I'm not quite sure. Now this author is most well known for doing historical Regency romance type books. I haven't read any of those, but she did write 12 mysteries of like the golden age. This one was published in 1932, which, as you know, I love the 30s. It is about an old house called the Priory, whose owner dies and is the Priory is left to the deceased nieces and nephews and their family, and they move in, and then as soon as they move in, the villagers are like, you don't want to live there, there's a reason why your uncle didn't live there, it's creepy, it's haunted by a monk, honestly get out while you still can. And they're like, no, I'm staying, thanks, beautiful old house, worth a lot of money, I'm staying put. So they stay put, and then things start to go bump in the night. They do see a monk, a couple of them do, some of them end up fainting, it's all dramas kicking right off. And then about 200 pages in, we get a murder. Dun dun dun. Now, I liked this book. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I did like it. I really like her writing style. The writing style is what gave it 3 stars. Plot-wise, it wasn't for me. I didn't really like it, but it was the writing style that I did enjoy. It's quite funny, it's quite witty, it's quite charming. I know that's quite a strange thing to say about a murder mystery, but it is. It's quite 30s in language. I did really like it. There were some things that I wasn't too keen on. I wasn't too keen on the fact that it did take 200 pages to get to the murder, and then the murder itself was a little bit gory. I'm very much like, you know how Agatha Christie, there isn't really a gory murder, there's no real blood. That's what I like about Agatha Christie. This one was a little bit too gory. It was like Dorothy L. Sayers. A bit too much for me, but I don't mind. That's why I don't read modern crime, by the way. I read a modern crime once called The Art of Murder. It was an amazing book. It was 5 stars, but it's quite gory. And I had nightmares for like 3 days, and I was absolutely terrified by every single sound that the house made. It was petrifying. So yeah. I don't like gory things, just no thanks. But I did read this book in 2 sittings, so I did really enjoy it. I think it's going to be 1. Do you remember when I read my first Patricia Wentworth, my first Miss Silver? And I was like, I gave it 2 stars actually. I really liked the writing style, but I wasn't too keen on the plot, and there wasn't enough Miss Silver for me. But now, I love Patricia Wentworth. There is definitely better to come, and I'm hoping it's going to be the same with Georgette Heyer or Heyer. I'm not sure, but yeah, 3 stars, did like it. The next book I have is this beautiful copy. This is The Mystery of the Skeleton Key by Bernard Capes. This is the Collins Crime Club, the Detective Club series. This is a facsimile of the original book. I think the original book was published in like 1919. Now this book essentially is about a shooting party at a country house in which the maid ends up getting murdered. She ends up getting shot. There is a little bit of a backstory behind it before we get to the shooting party and stuff, but that's essentially the plot. Now, I didn't like this book, and I'm a bit annoyed because these books I bought a couple of years ago thinking that they're going to be really good. I think it was by Frank Richardson, I can't remember what it's called. But I gave that like 2 stars. Did I give it 2 stars or 1 star? I wasn't too keen. This one I gave 1 star. I just didn't like it. I read 60 pages of it and I was like, yeah, it's all right. And after that, I was just like, I pushed my way through to page 100 and then I was just like, ugh. And I speed read the rest of it. And I was just like, it's just, by the end I just wasn't bothered. I think it's the writing style. The writing style is quite dense, it's quite heavy. It's just not for me. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving this book away. Now the reason why I'm reviewing it is because I do think some people might enjoy it, but it's just not for me. And then finally I have 13 Guests by J. Jefferson, is it Farron? I'm not quite sure. This is part of the British Library Crime Classics, which are brilliant set of books that you should really check out if you like cosy crime mysteries. This to say, by the author, the best-selling Mystery in White. I read Mystery in White and I didn't really like it, so I was a little bit worried about going into this, but the thing about this book is the plot had me sold. I was like, oh, I really like the plot of this, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. I thought I'd give J. Jefferson a second shot, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So the plot is essentially, funnily enough, it's about a hunting party, a bit similar to the other one, where there are 12 guests ready, and they're coming down to this big house. The house is called, what's it called? Bragley Court. This coming to Bragley Court, they're going to have a hunting party. It's going to be an absolutely wonderful time, all different types of guests coming. And then on the train, a man injures himself getting off the train, and one of the guests sees him, like, oh, come with me, come to Bragley Court and we'll sort you out, we'll look after you. So he ends up becoming 13, and there are now 13 guests. He's not the 13th guest to walk through the door. Now it depends if you believe in, you know, all that type of unlucky 13 and stuff, but essentially the 13th person that ends up walking through the door ends up getting bumped off. So yeah. It was definitely unlucky 13 for that person. As I said, I was a little bit worried going into this book because I'd read one of his before, wasn't too keen. At the beginning of this book, the first page, literally page 1, I was like, oh no, not again. The writing style, like for this page, was quite descriptive. It reminds me a bit of Dickens, you know, when, you know, it's very descriptive in language, describing every cobblestone and that sort of thing. Reminded me a bit like him, but then he got into the swing of things and I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. I loved all the different guests with their personalities. We've got a crime author. She was my fave. She was like trying to work out and she was a bit useless, but she was very funny. We have people in politics, we have artists, we have an actress. So many different people. It was wonderful. I also really enjoyed the pacing of this book, just generally the plot. I whizzed through it really quickly. I read it in like 1.5 days. It was fabulous. And I found the ending of this really satisfying. Like, you think it ends and then literally the last couple of pages, right little twist. I thought, oh, that's interesting, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really good. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I would highly recommend it. I'd recommend it out of all the books, to be honest, although Georgia Haya is one to look out for. So yeah, really enjoyed it, and I am going to pick up more of his works because there might be one that I didn't like, but I love this one, and I hope that I'm going to love some more of his other works because this was a fabulous plot. So there we are. Those are 3 cosy crime book reviews. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let's have a chat in the comment section about all things cosy crime mystery. That's it for this video. Take care, and I shall see you soon for the next one. Bye for now.